In this video, I'm going to be showing y'all how to deal with the man coverage demons, the guys that play man coverage all game, cover two, cover one, the zero blitzes. We're going to be using my bunch tight end scheme. Let's jump into the audibles real quick. These are my primary four plays: the RPO alert bubble, the X spot, the triple out, and the famous PA boot over. We're going to jump into the practice field and show y'all how to set these plays up in different ways depending on the defense and personnel on the field. So let's go ahead and jump into the practice field and show y'all how we set these plays up. All right, the first play we're going to be talking about out of this little scheme is going to be the X spot. I'm going to show you how I like to set it up. Now, the first defense we're going to be going against is going to be a cover one, but the way we set this play up, you can also beat a cover two and a cover zero, but we're just going to show you what this looks like against a cover one first. And this is if they're only sending four guys at you. Yes, we're going to switch it up if they send more. Yes, I know they can make adjustments playing outside, inside. This is just giving you the base setup. And it's really your job to make adjustments depending on what your opponent's throwing at you. So the way I like to set up the X spot is go ahead and put X on a fade route. B, I like to put on a zig route. And then I'll keep the tight end on the route that he's on if they're not sending heat at me. And then the running back I'm going to put on a wheel route. If they're sending five guys at me, they're doing a bluff blitz, whatever it is, I'm going to go ahead and block the tight end. But for the most part, we're going to go ahead and leave the tight end on the route that he's on. Now, my first go-to against a cover one is going to be the wheel route all day. If they do not have a safety over the top to help this wheel route, it is basically a one-play touchdown, especially if you have a little speedy running back in the backfield. Let me just show you what this is looking like. Once he passes him, that's an X-factor safety right there, and we're just going to easily turn it into a one-play touchdown. Now, mind you, if they're playing a cover two, probably not going to be looking for that wheel route if there's a safety over the top. My second go-to is going to be the zig route. That's going to be the first guy I look for. Yes, I know they can play to the outside, play underneath, all that good stuff. But if it's just a base cover one, we're hitting the zig route every single time. Just let it develop, hit it to the outside, get your easy yards. And then the other go-to is going to be the corner route. Now, this is one of the best corner routes in Madden. You can have an A-tier cornerback against a B-tier receiver and still get the separation. Now, the problem I'm having in the practice mode is how quick Y is getting off this release, and it's kind of actually messing it up. Like, if there's nobody in the way and it's just the corner route versus this DB, I'm getting it every single time. But what's happening right now is there's a little bit of traffic. Sometimes X gets in the way. But you're going to see I get separation every single time with the corner out right here. Just look how fast he got off and then just lead this ball straight up. You'll actually create more room if you don't get a release that good. Like once he hits that little corner cut, he's going to be wide open if there's no safety to help or no purple zone over there to help. This is going to be the base setup for the X spot right here. Like I said, X on a streak, B on a zig, you're running back on a wheel route. Sometimes you're going to block the tight end. Another thing I like to do with my tight end. Now, this is if you get the user out of the picture in the middle of the field, because you're going to see right here, it's a cover one. There's going to be a zone in the middle. But what I like to do when I get that user focused on the zig route, the wheel route, I'll have that one-on-one with my tight end, and it'll be a time and throw like this. And I normally get this like 9 times out of 10, depending if, you know, the tight end catches the ball. But this is going to be my primary setup with the X spot right here. Let me just show you what it's going to look like. B on a zig, X on a streak or a fade route, and then you're running back on a wheel route. That's what my X spot's going to be looking like against a cover one and also a cover two man. And you can also run this against a zero blitz. All right, the next play I want to talk about is going to be the triple out. This is going to be my go-to against the zero blitzes. This is where they're sending 6, 7 guys at you, and it's man coverage across the board. What you're going to go ahead and do is block the running back, motion him over to the opposite side, block the tight end, put Y on a streak and X on a slant, and then go ahead and smart route that corner route with B because we want it to develop a lot quicker. Now, we're going to set up our blocks to give me the best possible chance against this blitz. If you're going against somebody that's running a zero blitz, they're going to run it multiple times, so you should know where they're going to be coming from. Most of the time it's the DBs closest to the defensive ends, so I'm going to ID the left one, and then I'm going to slide shift my O-line to block to the right. This is going to give me the most time possible. The first time you hit them with this, they're not going to know where exactly you're going to go. The user is going to have to kind of stay in the middle of the field. That's especially why we put the slant right there. Now, let's say you hit them with this the second time. They might go and try to guard the corner route, then look for X. And a lot of times, if you have a decent route runner or you have a burner at the Y position, he can get open over the top for a one-play touchdown. But the first time you run this, you're going to be looking for the corner route. You should have the time, especially if you set up your your blocks the right way. You're just going to lead this straight forward and kind of to the direction of where the receiver's going. And a lot of times you could turn this into a one-play touchdown against a zero blitz. All right, the next play I want to talk about that's going to go hand in hand with the triple out is going to be the PA boot. This is another play I like to run against a zero blitz. What we're going to do is put the running back on a wheel route and motion them to the opposite side. We're going to block the tight end and we're going to run it like this. Now, they're going to be thinking you're going to hit them with that corner out again. And if that's the case and the user goes and tries to run over there and guard that, you got B in the middle of the field. And if they have no safety over the top, you can hit Y or X. But let's say they decide to still play the middle of the field. We're going to go for the running back against man coverage with the wheel route again. And you're going to see how this develops right here. Once he passes that DB, you're just going to lead this to the outside, and you can easily turn this into a one-play touchdown against a zero blitz. Now, that's... if you read the defense correct, that's what you're going to go for. But let's just take a look at this again. Once again, let's say the user goes and tries to guard that corner out. So the middle of the field is just one-on-one with the DBs. B is one of the best routes against man coverage. That was just a terrible throw. But you can hit B or you can hit Y. And another thing I like to do out of the PA boot is I'll actually put B on a zig route. Everything else the same. And that's just my quick check down. He won't get in the way of the wheel route, and you can see if he gets open right here, that's just something you're going to have to read if they're playing inside or outside with their DBs. You can't force it when you're going against zero blitzes. You got to be patient and look for things to open up. But those are a couple of setups against zero blitzes that work really well for me. All right, the next defense I want to talk about is going to be a cover two man. That's with two safeties going deep. And my go-to against this is going to be the X spot, but we're going to set this up a little bit different. What you're going to do is put B on a streak, X on a slant, your tight end on a streak, and then you're running back on an in route like this. Normally when they go into a cover two man is because they're trying to stop the corner route when I'm in X spot with Y, or they're trying to stop the corner route with the triple out with the B receiver. So normally they'll probably put a safety in that purple zone over there at 30. But let's say that they're just playing a regular old cover two man with the two safeties going deep. You can still beat man coverage with this corner route right here. It creates so much separation. It's one of the best plays, one of the best routes against man coverage. But let's say that the user is worried about that corner route, so they go over there and try to help that. This is why we set up this route combo. We put the tight end on the streak, running back on the in route, and then X on a slant. We're going to be looking at the middle of the field. That's where it's going to be open because they're so focused on that corner route. Just look for whatever gets open first. The slant did get open, but I don't know why he stopped running. But you can hit the slant. Look for your running back. And then if that safety does go all the way to the left to stop the corner, a lot of times the streak over the top gets open because they just don't play that well of man coverage, especially if they're pressing and you got a decent wide receiver with good release. That's going to be it for this game. This is just the base setup for you out of the bunch tight end to give you an idea to get you started. But you can do whatever route combos you want with whatever play out of bunch tight end. It is the best formation, in my opinion, against man coverage, especially against zero blitzes. And don't forget you got that RPO alert bubble. If they give you a good look to where that gap is just open, audible to that run play, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll line down and quick snap the RPO run play. I rarely run that bubble unless it's a zone coverage. But use these plays, add this to your scheme, especially if you're going against man coverage and you're having trouble. Let me know how it's working out for you in the comments down below. With all that being said, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it.